This tutorial is for section S24, point slope form. Write an equation from a graph, Algebra 1. So, as you can see, these are pretty rough sketches I've just done on notebook paper. It'll be a lot easier when you see these on a real graph on the computer. But I can still show you how we're going to go about working out these problems just through these rough sketches. So for number 1, you can see that we have a graph here, and in your homework you'll see this is like a red point. So yes, you could have taken any point from the line, but they're asking you to use this specific point. So that's why it's marked more boldly here. So this point on the graph is 900 for my x value and 200 for my y value. Again, it'll be so much easier to see when you have it in front of you on your computer. But this point, I write it down as 900 and 200, and then I get my slope. So I'll go back here and see rise over run. It's a positive slope because the line is moving up, and so it was hard to mark all of those values on here, but I would have gone up 200 and over 100, and that would have been a slope of 2 once I simplify that fraction. So for my tutorial, what I'm doing is writing down the ordered pair for this point that in your homework will be red, and then I'm writing down the slope. So I have my 3 components, my 3 numbers that I'll need to plug in to the point slope form. So y minus, and then my y value, which is 200, equals, I take my slope here, 2, times x minus my x value of 900. So again, this time you're gathering this information from a graph and then turning this into an equation in point slope form. Number 2, we have a graph with one of our points labeled in red. That point, the ordered pair for that point, is at 90, 80. From the graph, I was able to see that my slope is 1/7. So I'll use these 3 numbers to plug in for my point slope form. Y minus 80 equals 1/7 x minus 90. So my x value, my y value, and my slope. Number 3. From my graph, I was able to gather this red point, which occurred at 50, negative 80. I could tell from my line that the slope was 3, so I went up 30 over 1, which once that's simplified would be 3 over 1. Any number over itself is 3. So I plug in these 3 values. Y minus negative 80, which could have been written as y plus 80, but I think this one may have had a box, I'm not sure. So y minus negative 80 equals 3 times x minus 50. Number 4. From my graph, I got this point, negative 4, negative 2. I used the line to find information about my slope, which is that I went down 5 and over 1, so my slope is negative 5. I plug in these 3 numbers in my point slope form equation. Y minus negative 2 equals negative 5 times x minus negative 4. Number 5. From this graph, I got this point, 150. My slope is 1/2, which means rise over run. I went up 1 and over 2. In point slope form, I would have y minus 50 equals 1/2 x minus 100. And the last example here, number 6. From the graph, I have this point, 600, 100. My slope was 6, so I just plug in these 3 values. Y minus 100 equals 6x minus 600. And that's it.